Hello everyone, today I'm watching The World War of the Ants, The Army Ant by Kurzgesagt. Now, I know quite a lot about ants. I've been watching Ants Canada for a good, 7, 8 years I think now? Yeah, somewhere around that. And I used to actually keep an ant colony myself. Multiple actually. So I saw that Kurzgesagt had videos on ants, and I just really wanted to check it out, so let's watch it.
Some groups just don't get along. Every day, billions of soldiers fight a merciless war on thousands of fronts, and it's been going on for over 100 million years. The World War of the Ants. Ants are ancient beings that arose around 160 million years ago and took over a wide variety of ecological niches.
Okay, so I see honeypot ants and weaver ants. Not sure what the one in the middle is though. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, before I keep watching, ants are fascinating. They are basically like humans in a way. They form societies, they basically make roads or highways in their nests. Yeah, ants are just... They're insane. They're fascinating. Don't know what else to say, really. If humans were more like ants... Actually, no, wait, ants... Well, no, ants still go to war, so never mind. But imagine if a human was like an ant. Ants can lift, like, what? 10 times their body weight? Something like that, maybe even more. It would basically be like a human lifting a car.
So successful
if ants were giant,
that they became one of the dominant animals.
If ants
on
were the
planet
size
Earth.
of dogs, humanity
Today,
wouldn't exist.
They count more than 16,000 different species with over 10,000 trillion individuals. Collectively, ants alone make up 20% of the entire animal biomass on land.
Holy shit. Just ants themselves make up 1/5 of all the biomass of any other animals.
Land. Similar to humans, their recipe for success is collaboration. While a single ant is pretty useless, together they are able to achieve stunning feats.
Pretty much just
They
like humans.
construct complex colonies, care for livestock, pursue agriculture, or have complex symbiotic relationships. And of course, ants wage war. Even among the same
War is probably the most important part of any society. It sucks, yeah, it does, but it's just something that will always happen. Peace is not possible. But in both ants, humans, and any other living being. War is a constant. It will always exist. It's not something you can avoid, as much as it sucks.
species, a constant state of conflict is pretty common. Skirmishes, raids, and full-on invasions are happening every day, causing millions of casualties. Let's look at some of the most interesting ones in a...
What type of ants are here? The only one of these that I really can immediately tell what it is the army ant, the aceton. I've heard about Iridomyrmex, but I'm not exactly sure which one that was.
A series of videos. In this one, the army ant, a swarm made for war. The army ant group consists of about 200 different species. Army ants do not build nests, they live a sort of nomadic lifestyle with groups of millions of individuals. On a hunt, some species form large colonies.
Man, watching this really makes me want to play Empires of the Undergrowth. Shit, maybe I could play that on my gaming channel. You know, that's actually a good idea. I could play it on my gaming channel. Yeah, I actually have a gaming channel. I'll leave a link in the description below for anyone interested. Because I know that there are army ants in Empires of the Undergrowth. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Let's just get back to watching the video. Also, if you guys haven't seen like a video of army ants in the wild, like the way they have their trails, you have to watch it. It's just like a massive column. It's like soldiers, which is probably why they're called army ants. It's like soldiers marching.
Up to 100 meters long, killing and immediately dismembering every insect or small vertebrate they encounter. The biggest hunting parties can kill up to 500,000 animals per day.
Holy shit!
Some army ants specialize in hunting and consuming other social insects like termites, wasps, and especially other ants. Wasps are fierce and may seem invulnerable, but if a swarm makes its way...
Wasps are technically invulnerable because they can fly, but if ants make it to the nest, then what does it matter? As long as they kill the queen, there you go. Wasp colony dead. And of course they're going to go to the nest because that's where the brood is. So they're gonna go there to get the brood and eat it. Take it back home as food.
Colonies, they don't even stand a chance. The much bigger and stronger wasps might kill a few of them, but they are quickly overwhelmed. Even if their queen survives an attack, the army ants steal the colony's larvae and quickly devour them. There is no recovery from that.
I love the animation on this. This
When
is
army
beautiful.
ants discover another ant colony, they immediately attack. Now you might think this would be a more even
So they're aggressive go-getters, just like the Romans.
battle, but it's not. Because army ants act as a social unit, they are especially dangerous and effective. Most army ants are not particularly impressive
Oh,
in...
bullet ants. Yeah, I've seen Coyote Peterson get stung by one of those. Definitely wasn't fun. Although the giant Amazonian ant, I've never actually seen that one, but I feel like I know what species that is. I need to check this. Yeah, it's the Dinopanera gigantea. I've heard of this one before. I believe this is the largest ant species in the world. I think, at least. Anyway, back to the video.
Individually, but they can overwhelm their victims with sheer numbers before the victim colony can mount an effective defense. And so invasions tend to be won by the attackers, and the prey colony is damaged significantly or is exterminated. Interestingly, army ants don't fight army ants. When two swarms encounter each other in the wild, they either pass through each other, ignoring the other swarm, or both colonies just move away.
That's
Which
interesting.
makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint. Army ants that fought other army ants probably eradicated themselves millions of years ago.
Yeah.
Indeed, they're
So it's basically
deadly
just
that
a
other ant species
survival
had to specialize
instinct,
to survive their
I guess.
presence. Many species just panic and evacuate their nest when they notice army ant scouts carrying as many larvae with them as they can in order
So
to
basically
return
just
and rebuild after the
retreat
attack.
and
Other species
run away,
have
live to
invented
fight
living
another day.
bunkers since fighting is so futile. They have worker classes that have big
I've seen
square
these
heads.
ants before. Yeah, they just
When
block the
army ants
entrances
show
with their
up,
heads.
They use them to block the entrances to their nests, so the attackers have to give up after a while. But not everybody is afraid of...
There is a perfect example of evolution. Those ants evolved to a point where their heads are made in a way so that they can perfectly just block the entrance to their nest to deny the enemy access. That's
army
insane.
ants. Leafcutter ants form some of the largest and most complex societies of any animal other than humans. They live in extensive nests many meters deep and across, harboring millions of citizens with a highly sophisticated...
Yeah, the interesting about leafcutter ants is they actually don't eat the leaves, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people believe that because of the name, but they actually don't eat leaves. They take the leaves and they turn them into fungus, and they eat the fungus.
division of labor. Like huge soldiers, 100 times more massive than a worker. Their sole purpose might be to defend their colonies against army ants. They still have a nemesis, though. The diet of the army ant species Nomomyrmex eisenbeckii consists mostly of the larvae of other ants. Compared to other army ants, they have a more robust soldier caste. So far, they are the only known species that can successfully attack a mature colony of leafcutters. When they find a leafcutter colony, hundreds of thousands attack in a long column. The moment the leafcutter ants notice the army ant attack, they go into crisis mode and immediately alert their soldiers, who very quickly swarm to the site of attack. A front line develops that can be a few meters wide and up to a meter deep.
The fact that it can be meters long and a meter deep, when we're talking about ants, just think about how many ants there must be in such a small area. That must just be hundreds of thousands.
The leafcutter soldiers go head to head with the army ants, lock in on them and try to cut through their heads. Smaller leafcutter workers help by grabbing the enemies. Small teams carry out attacks behind the front line, where they dismember their enemies by ripping their legs from their bodies. The attackers, meanwhile, try to swarm their victim soldiers and sting them to death in a mob. Despite the powerful defense and the determined response, the army ants are still superior in numbers. So without knowing if the battle can be won, the leafcutters prepare for the worst. Workers rush to create barricades and seal off it.
So basically, the ants that actually do go out to fight are they're just there to distract them and buy time. Because they're fighting a losing battle.
As many entrances to their nest as possible to secure their brood. If the leafcutters are not able to repel the invaders, or at least barricade enough of their entrances in time, the army ants swarm the nest, overrunning all opposition. They penetrate deep into the hidden chambers and steal tens of thousands of the leafcutters' brood to eat them. Even if the leafcutter colony survives, this is a heavy blow. Regardless who's won the war, thousands lay slain on the battlefield. When the army ants attack, death follows them. But there are other species that form much more dangerous ant armies. Species that form super colonies covering thousands of square kilometers over multiple continents,
so
engaging
basically,
in wars kilometers across.
Argentine ants.
They deserve their own video though. No matter the scale, war is a part of ant existence, be it between huge colonies or small groups trying to fend off a raid. In tropical rainforests, but also in the cracks of the concrete we walk over every day. Humans have decided that war is not a thing that they want to do a lot anymore.
I don't know about
ants,
that one.
though, the other ant will always be the enemy. No, some groups just don't get along.
I mean, that thing about humans there, that's... yeah, no. We still wage war. Humans will always wage war. That will never change. Someone will always find a reason, no matter how small, insignificant, or stupid, to wage war. That will always happen. I mean, look at what's happening in Eastern Europe right now, between Russia and Ukraine. War will always happen. I mean, there's at least, like, I think 5 active conflicts going on right now. At least. So, yeah. That was a great video. I really like the fact that they're making stuff about ants, because they're such interesting creatures. Yeah, anyway, I don't know what else to say. Since the next video is going to be about a mega colony, I'm guessing it's going to be about Argentine ants. At least that's my guess. I think Argentine ants make mega colonies. I do believe so. But yeah, we'll see you in the next video. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Link to my Discord server is down in the description below. I'll also put in the link to my gaming channel there. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.